All right, reading for the eclipse. So this is the spring eclipse season. South node Virgo eclipse, which happened on the 14th. North node Aries eclipse, final Aries eclipse in the cycle because we're officially switching to the Virgo Pisces axis. This is an out of sign eclipse that is happening in Aries on the 29th. So it's the end of a cycle as we're transitioning to the beginning of a cycle. North node is about moving towards something. So we're moving toward, but it's the last chapter of it. So beginning, ending, all piling on top of each other. What do people need to know for this eclipse season that we have just got into the meat of? Okay, the thing that just came in was like, hold on to your hats. Like, I'm seeing that, like, you're like holding the hat on top of your head and it's like so windy. It's like if everyone's at any point been in like a wind tunnel kind of a situation where the wind is just moving through the buildings and you're like trying to walk down the sidewalk, down the street, and you're like actually physically being pushed back. It feels like there's a bit of that happening. Which is an interesting parallel because Virgo's an earth sign and Aries is a fire sign, so we're not even in. What did I just say? Did I just say it's a water sign? Aries is a fire sign, Virgo is an earth sign, and I'm talking about air, which is a totally different element. So I think it's interesting that that's what's coming up because it feels unrelated. So we're working with this energy. We're like going against, it actually feels like it's going against the grain. It's not even just that, it's the headwind of you're trying to go a certain direction and you're being pushed. You're having resistance to either not go that way, like you're trying to be energetically steered a different way, like stop going down the same path or don't go down this path, go a different way, find a different way, find a better way, find a new way. That's kind of combining a little bit of the Virgo and the Aries happening together. And yet you're trying to do it. So catch yourself if you are repeating a pattern that's no longer serving you, that's what you're trying to shed. Or if you're trying to go a certain route, like take the warning, take the sign from the universe of like, hey, maybe don't go this way, maybe go a different way, maybe try something new. Because then it's like you're holding your hat's getting blown off. Now it's starting to rain. It's raining sideways. And it's just like, okay. How many signs does the universe have to give you to get you to redirect? That's what it feels like. This is the portal that we're in, like sign after sign after sign. Some of them are things like directly happening to you, physically happening to you. And like you're so persistent about like thinking about what the actual path is that you're supposed to be taking. So listen, like actually stop, actually listen and hear what's happening, see what's happening. You're experiencing it already. So that might just not be the way anymore. And we're preparing to close the chapter, start a new chapter, and stop going down those roads that it's just going to be a dead end, to continue the metaphor. Okay, there's one more tiny thing before I flip over the card. Getting stuff about like this, like a sacred pause. So it feels a little bit counterintuitive. You're being blown against with such a powerful wind, it's going to blow you back. Well, if you stop moving, won't I just tip over? And no, because you are tucking into a building, you're going inside, you're pausing as in you're not progressing forward on the path, but you can find shelter on the road, rest, recoup, reevaluate. All rewords because we're in a double retrograde right now. We have Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde happening right now. Everybody's sitting in that energy. Reassess. Then you can get out, exit your shelter, and you head the opposite way. You're going to have the wind behind you helping to push you to redirect and get on a new path, get out of the wind tunnel, go to a place where there's just a light breeze and it actually feels pleasant. It's a sunny day. It's not raining anymore. The clouds have cleared. So you're being asked to actually pay attention to the signs of the universe, your spirit team, whatever system you like to leverage here, because it's coming at you. It's like, hello, hello, hello. Wee-oo, wee-oo. Pay attention. Last card here. This is how you know it's meant to be. New moon in Gemini. That's our air sign. Think it through. This is our stopping and taking shelter. We're saying, what's happening? What should I do? What am I missing? What's my appropriate action forward? Even if that action is taking some steps back, because you're retracing your steps to then get on a new road and walk a new direction. New moon in Gemini, think it through. So that's the energy for this eclipse season. We're having some air. We're having some air thrown in there, but 100% this is, to me, this reads because of all those retrogrades going on. We literally have Mercury, one of the ruler of Gemini, also rules Virgo, which is where that eclipse is. That just happened, is in retrograde right now. Went retrograde on Saturday, right after the eclipse happened. Mercury went retrograde. Heavy on the thinking about stuff. And even with the going back to the collective readings for the week, we were talking about your different relationships. We have Venus that's also in retrograde. That's something that everyone in the collective, if you are tapping into the collective energy, is looking at your relationships, looking at your values, looking at your money, looking at balance. So we do have both of those things that are happening right now. So I love that this totally captured that as well. All right. Any thoughts, questions, comments on this mini impromptu eclipse season reading? Related to 1 and 2, stop doing the same thing, learn a new way, actually release the toxin. Yeah. Well, and it's because of the beginning and ending energy. Like it's the same. This is doing the same thing. When we're talking about eclipses, we're talking about beginning and endings. And I think I said that actually when we were doing the readings earlier, that it was picking up on some of the eclipse portal that we have happening. Yes, thank you, Carrie. Yeah, if you like cards, if you're interested in cards, I have a free workshop. I know some Insight Timer students attended that, but I have a free workshop that you can download the recording of it, and it's on my website. So if you head over to the link in my bio, you can go to the shop, you can watch that. It gives you some prompts. So if you have your own cards, whether Oracle or Tarot, whatever you would like, you can actually use those in the interactive portion of the class, and you can still draw them to get your own answers for your questions. So it's a nice introductory course to using cards as divination tools yourself, if it's something that you are interested enough to attend the reading today. So if you're interested in that, again, that is totally free, available for download on my website.